Hey everybody, it's Emery again with Ultra Sabers, and I'm here today to show you guys how to install and use the launcher program for the new Obsidian V4. What we have here is a laptop loaded with Windows 8, and behind it is a Mac. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to install on both machines. I know a lot of users were reporting issues with Windows 8, and I have this Windows 8 machine here just to show you guys that those issues should be no more and that it works perfectly fine with Windows 8. First thing you need to do is to go to the forums and download the software. So here's the post here. Just click download. I'm going to click save file here. And then Firefox is going to go ahead and take it up here depending on which launcher you're using, or I'm sorry, browser. So it saved it here. Here's a downloads folder. All you do is right click, run as administrator. That's always how you want to run this, just to make sure that it's installed with all administrator privileges. Since you're going to be writing and reading, make sure it's done as administrator. So run as administrator. Click more info. Run anyway. Just wanted to go ahead and install this program. Just gonna hit next and let this install. Next, accept, next. Should be a minute or two while this installs. And after this installation, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the Mac, just to let you guys see a walkthrough of how that's installed on there as well. And green bar, there we go. Finish. So now we have the program here. Fires right up. I'm going to go ahead and connect the soundboard, turn it on. We're going to go ahead and plug this in. Let's try to get it to connect. Unplug, plug in. There we go. So that's just an example there. If you guys don't get it to connect at first, just try unplugging it, plugging it back in. So now this is fully reflective of what is on this soundboard here. I'll go over all of this on the Mac, but I just wanted to show you guys that fully functional here on Windows 8. Format, memory, sound wizard, all of this I'll go over when we get to the Mac. But I'm going to go ahead and close the program here. Unplug my soundboard. Turn the saber off. Let's go ahead and put the Windows machine away and move over to the Mac. Sorry about that, guys. Trying to get you guys a good view. All right, there you go. Same thing on a Mac. This is already the forum post here where we're going to download the installer. This is just the Obsidian V4 Mac launcher. I'm just going to click download. Pops up right over here in the download files, which I have open here in the Finder. So here is the newly downloaded file. Just open it. Open. And we're just going to install this. Continue. All right. right, I just had to make a second folder here because I have this already installed on the machine. So I'm just gonna have a second instance installed here just to show you guys the installation process. But again, this is all extremely straightforward. You just click next, 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 and you're good to go. There's no error messages, no hidden windows, no questions, just next, next, next. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead to the Finder and go to our applications. And here we go. Here I have Ultra Sabers launcher, and this is the one I just installed with the two here. So just come down, and here's the program here, the Ultra Sabers launcher. Same thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and open it up, and it fires right up there. You can maximize it if you want, or where did my program go? Here we go. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug this one in, turn it on, plug it right in. And actually, for all you Mac users, I've found that it's a lot more fluid on the Mac, as you can see here. Plug it in once and it's detected immediately. I found that everything to be a lot more, I don't know, easy to use on a Mac, I should say. So that's one plus for all you Mac users that had to wait all this time. All right, now let's go over some of the features of the new software. I'm going to zoom in for you guys, get a better look. All right, firmware update. As I said in the forum post, and I said in the previous video, you can actually update the firmware. So if we make any changes, you can update it. And as it says here, a new firmware is available. Please update the firmware. So actually purposely put an older version of firmware on here so you guys can see how easily updated this is. Just click firmware update. It's telling you what the new version is, and it tells you what the new features are added, amplifier protection, etc. So it tells you all the new features of the new firmware. Click update firmware, and it's basically telling you do not unplug your soundboard while you're updating the firmware. That goes without saying, but yeah, don't do it. Click yes. There you go. It says reading device information. Please wait while it reboots. And here we go. So we're back in business here. It says the new firmware version 408 has been installed. So we're good to go. And that's about what's here. Also at this bottom here, this is actually retrieved live from our server. So if we have any new sales or whatever going on, you'll see that here. So this would be a different logo here at the bottom. But the firmware update is basically all that's here. This top one is the disconnect or connect button. So if you need to connect your soundboard, you just click that there. But it should automatically connect. So this button really shouldn't have a use. It should automatically connect if the software is open and you plug in your soundboard and the soundboard is turned on. All right, so Obsidian soundboard. The reason why we have this tab here for Obsidian soundboard is obviously we plan to add the Emerald driver here for this launcher as well. Once we get different hardware, what features installed on the launcher, you'll have different tabs here. So there'll be a tab for the Emerald driver and any other hardware we plan to add in the future. We wanted to make this an extremely robust program so it's usable down the line for anything that we add to our Sabers, which we do have planned and we are working on. But for now, the Emerald driver, you'll be seeing that here soon. But for now, the old version of the launcher still works with your Emerald driver. So format memory, let's go over that first. You can see here, I have 8 different sound fonts currently installed. The default Obsidian sound font, Black Star, a Sith sound font, Ancient Saber, Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 6, and Silent. The Silent sound font is actually, for those of you who want to just mute your Saber, just switch to that sound font, confirm, and you have no sound. So it's a lot. I know we get a lot of requests on how to mute the Sabers. Right now, you just switch to this sound font and you have a silent saver, and you can turn it back on at any time with just a push of a button. You don't have to connect it to the Obsidian launcher or anything. But yeah, this tells you what you have installed and how the memory is allocated. Right here, it says number of banks. I don't know how well you guys can see from here, but you can actually change this. Right now, the number is 8. We can change it to as few as 1, obviously, or as many as your heart content. The issue is the more banks you have, the smaller the banks get. You can also resize them. You can change 1 to be extremely large and the rest to be small. The box here that says resize all will automatically resize all the banks for you, depending on how you modify 1. If you uncheck this box, you can modify them 1 at a time. And what that will do is it would just put any excess memory in the last bank or resize the last bank based on what's left. So you can see here, we actually can't modify the last bank. That's going to be determined by how much memory you put into all the other banks. So you can actually resize all and change them all individually. If you want to pick one really big sound font in one bank and a bunch of other really small ones in others, that's all your choice. And then once you're done, you just click format memory and it'll wipe everything on your soundboard. So just keep that in mind. If you reformat your banks, every sound font you've uploaded is going to be wiped clean. If you format the memory, obviously that's the definition of format. So let's go ahead and cancel this. We're not going to do that right now, and go over what we see here, which are our parameters. Basically, this is what you guys know as adjusting the sensitivity, adjusting the motion threshold, and things of that sort. So you adjust that all here. And once you're done adjusting, the way you upload this to your soundboard is to click write to board here. So write to board is actually going to put this onto your soundboard. This read from board, let's say how I just played with all of these here. If you actually want to know what settings you have on your board now, you just click read from board. It's going to change these back to exactly how your board is set up right now. So that's pretty helpful if you end up messing with these and you want to make sure you get it back to how it was, or just from there, just click read from board and it'll readjust these to exactly what's on your soundboard now. So this is your parameters here, guys. If you want to adjust the sensitivity, the lockup, flash on clash time, if you want to enable flash on clash or disable it, or enable the lockup effect when it flashes, when it locks up, you can do that here as well. Just make sure you click write to board when you're done. And one of the coolest features is this new sound wizard. It makes changing the sound fonts so much easier. You have all of your banks here. You just select the bank you want to adjust and click next. So it's very intuitive. Now we're here. This is the tag sound, and it identifies exactly what the tag sound is here. Gives you a description. You can actually play it. Let's go. It's empty here. Let me go back. Select this one. All right. So we're gonna go into my desktop. Found a sound font here. Let's go with this one. Click open. All right, and once you upload it, you can actually click play here and it'll play the sound font before you actually upload it. A lot of people were asking how can you actually hear the sound fonts before you upload them, and this is a very easy way here. You just click play based on what you've selected here. So swing 1, if you want to test it, you click play. All right, let's go next to motion sounds. As you can see, there's multiple banks here for motion because you can upload multiple motion sounds. You can actually shift click and select multiple banks at once to save time. I'm sorry, files at once to save time. So select these all at once, click open, and those will all appear here on the screen. So you don't have to go through and individually select each one. You can select multiple at once and they'll all appear here. And again, you can test them all. And then you just keep going. Next is going to go to the impact sounds, the lockup sounds, etc. until we get to the very end here. And then it's going to allow you to name the sound font. It's going to ask you if you want to make this the active sound font when it's done uploading it. And also it's going to allow you to save this. For example, if you really like the sound font that you just created, you can save it as a file. That way you can go back without having to go through this entire process and just upload it from that file that you created. So once this is done, you just hit write sounds, and it's actually going to go through the process of writing it to your soundboard, very similar to how we did the firmware. And that's pretty much it, guys. We wanted to make this as simple as possible with as many features as possible. So again, we got the multiple sound fonts. We got the ability to format your memory and adjust the number of banks that you have. We have the multiple sound fonts, again, all with the push of a button, all the same sensitivity and motion adjustments right here. And it's all right here. Like, the whole goal, again, was to make this simple and easy to use. That was our whole goal going into this. And also the Mac compatibility. We wanted to make sure we got that in there for you guys as well. So here you guys have it. I believe that's all of the features here. I went over the memory, went over how the sound wizard works and the motion and sensitivity settings. And that's it. So again, we're extremely excited about this, extremely excited, because it eliminates a lot of the issues customers were having with the V3 version. And also to bring this to our Mac users, you guys don't know the number of emails we get now that Macs are getting so much more popular than they were when we first started making lightsabers. We're really happy that we can bring this here for you guys now. And I'm really happy with how smoothly it runs. It runs flawlessly. It's very intuitive. There's no guesswork involved. It's all right here for you guys. So let me shut up and let you guys go ahead and play with your new V4 soundboards if you have them. If not, you know where to get them. www.ultrasabers.com. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed.